Hey guys, welcome back to Raven Stories. Today we're reading, My boyfriend and his best friend are going on a week-long vacation, and they uninvited me. Let's get into it. So I'm 28, my boyfriend is 29. We've been together since November, and things were serious, like moving in together long-term, the whole thing. Earlier this year, we were planning a trip to Hawaii with him and his two best friends. One of them is a 25-year-old guy, and the other is a 29-year-old woman. Cool, sounds fun. Then the guy dropped out. Now it's just the three of us, me, my boyfriend, and his female best friend. And that's when she calls him. She tells him that now that it's just the three of them, she doesn't feel comfortable with me going. She doesn't know me that well, and she doesn't want to be a third wheel. So she gives him an ultimatum. Either I go, or she goes. He picked her, and he didn't even tell me. He just quietly changed the plans, moved the whole trip from Hawaii to Costa Rica, made it just the two of them, and didn't say a word. I only found out because I asked him which week I should take off for the Hawaii trip. That's when he goes, "Oh, actually, we changed the plans." I was hurt, genuinely hurt, but I didn't blow up. I tried to talk to him about how it made me feel, being invited to a trip and then uninvited for a woman I had never even met. We eventually agreed to do a separate trip together to Copenhagen as, compensation. And I asked to meet her so I could at least put a face to a name and feel less insane about the whole thing. So on the 4th of July, we go visit her and her boyfriend, and she is cold, barely welcoming, barely warm. To both of us, actually. My boyfriend even noticed and said he was surprised by how unfriendly she was. I tried. I'm naturally outgoing. I made the effort. Nothing clicked. While we were there, her and her boyfriend got into an argument about how she slid into his DMs while he was already in a relationship with someone else and basically got him to leave that person for her. She just said that out loud in front of us. I mentioned to my boyfriend that this dynamic worried me. He shrugged it off. Then I tried to bring up how I still wasn't comfortable with the trip. His family, his dad, his mom, his grandparents were all shocked when they heard about it. They told me they would have been furious if they were in my position. My boyfriend kept asking me to come up with ideas for how he could make it better. He stalled, and stalled, and stalled. And then it was the day of the trip. He bought me a bag of peanut butter cups. I drove them both to the airport. Update, August 20th. I was devastated dropping him off, and he was texting me, but I didn't respond. I didn't want to do anything in the state I was in, so I waited until the next day. Then I sent him a calm, thought-out text. I told him I didn't feel safe or loved in how this trip was handled. I told him I would be dropping his things off at his place and leaving his keys with the neighbor. He called. He didn't leave a message. He texted that he didn't understand. The rest of the week he kept calling and messaging. I couldn't bring myself to respond. On Thursday, he seemed to realize I was serious and started asking logistical questions. I told him which neighbor had his key. When he got back and saw his stuff at his door, he got frantic, called, left a long message, said he didn't understand what was going on. I sent him another text, making it clear that it was over. He lost it. Sent a bunch of texts in a row about how I was throwing away everything we built. Then left me a voicemail, angry, saying he had no idea why I was upset, that he did not accept the breakup, and that I needed to tell him the evil story I had made up about him to his face. That one got to me. So I sat down and wrote him an email. It was long. But here are some key parts. From the very start, this trip was made in an insanely disrespectful way. Your female best friend gave you an ultimatum. Either she goes or I go. And you picked her. You didn't offer to have her meet me. You didn't consult me at all. That's enough for most people to call it a deal breaker right there. But I stayed. You purchased tickets in another disrespectful situation. I had cooked dinner. We had guests. And you disappeared into my room for over an hour to pick flights with her while I kept asking you to please come eat. So I asked to meet her. On my request, we arrange a trip. And they are both inexplicably cold. And the first real conversation we have is one where she and her boyfriend argue about how she pursued him while he was already in a relationship. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to make this work. I want it to work. But every interaction chips away at me. The conversations that go nowhere, the stalling. And then, ultimately, after all of this, the original plan for her to hang out with us before the trip disappears too. She comes to my place and doesn't even see us. She arrives very late. We wake up the next morning. I drive you both to the airport. And you leave. And when I don't respond to your texts, you say, "You hope I'm okay." And you're going to bed. No call. I want you to have your best friend, and I want to leave. I did love you. But I am not about to fight this fight. And here you tell me I'm crazy for not seeing how totally platonic everything is for the rest of my life. There is no need for this to be mutual. I do not need your permission to break up with you. He wrote back a mostly apologetic email. Accepted responsibility for a lot of it. Except he denied that his relationship with her had anything to do with how I felt. He said the only thing that made the trip hard for me was my own perspective. I told him trust has to be built, and he put too much strain on it too early. He agreed and apologized. And that was that. It ended amicably enough. But nothing he said healed or changed anything. I stand by my decision. We broke up. Now let's see what the comments had to say, because people were not holding back. One commenter wrote, "I want you to have your best friend, and I want to leave, Queen. I did love you, but I am not about to fight this fight. I take it back. OOP is a goddess." Another said, "I have so much respect for this girl. She broke up with him not because of some accusation of cheating, but because he displayed such callous disregard for her feelings. She realized it didn't matter whether he cheated or not. As soon as he stepped foot on that plane, the relationship was over." Someone else pointed out, "Notice the part where the best friend openly admitted to pursuing someone who was already in a relationship to get him to date her instead. Houston, we have a pattern." This one made me laugh. His parents and grandparents were shocked when they heard about the trip. They are not going to be surprised when they hear about the breakup. And then someone replied, "OOP's ex, Mom, Dad, my girlfriend broke up with me. Their parents, good for her." One more. The boyfriend repeating, "I just don't understand," after literal months of dismissing her concerns, is giving missing reasons. He understood perfectly. He just refused to allow any contradiction of his behavior. I don't understand equals I don't agree. That's all it ever means. And finally, she doesn't want him, but she also doesn't want anyone else to have him. He is 100% her backup plan and will probably continue to be the other woman in any relationship he enters. And that's the story. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you subscribe. We post new stories every week. See you in the next one.